Hello, this is Christopher Wright. Welcome to Credit Paradigms, Lesson 1. Revelations, Secrets the Financial Industry Doesn't Want Revealed. GoodCreditApproval.com. Here are some of the things we're going to be discussing. Just kind of get started on. Going to talk about one thing you should do is watch the 5 factors of legal credit manipulation videos. I'll discuss those in a minute and tell you what those are all about. Then we're going to discuss on how to pull your free credit reports and your free scores from the top 3. There are actually more than 3, but your primary big 3 credit bureaus: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Then we're going to discuss about finding your true motivation, because just the fact that you want good credit may or may not be enough. So let's get started here. 5 factors of credit manipulation videos. If you haven't seen them, you can go to goodcreditapproval.com, look for the link that says free credit videos, and just give you an overview of what you'll find there. One of the videos, the first one, you probably should watch, is entitled Origins of the Credit Bureaus. And in that video, I go into detail of how the big 3 came into being, a little synopsis of their history. And it's amazing to think how 3 companies that are not actual government entities can have such a drastic effect on all our lives as if they were. The next video is about financial anxiety. There is a direct correlation between bad debt and bad health, and that link is called stress. And in that video I go into detail of how the fight or flight syndrome provides a good example of how bad debt can cause one to have bad health and how it affects your body. Now the first video, not the first video, but the next video that discusses the first factor and the most important factor that determines your credit score is your payment history. And your payment history makes up 35% of your credit score. So that is very important. Matter of fact, if you can't pay your current debt promptly and on time, then almost everything else you do is kind of null and void. And in that video, I'll teach you a few insider secrets on how to acquire or obtain good payment history without paying none of that paying nonsense. The next video, next subject deals with your debt ratio, or more accurately your credit utilization ratios, and that is simply a comparison of how much available credit you have compared to how much credit you have used. Say if you have $10,000 worth of credit cards and you've used 5,000 of that, then you have a 50% credit ratio. And I go into detail about how you should reduce that, or at least why you should. And the next one, we're discussing your age in credit, and that is simply the age of the credit accounts that you have on your file. The longer the better. A credit account in good standing that you've had for 3 years is better than one that you've only had for 3 months, and that one is 15%. So we have payment histories, that's 35%. Debt ratio, or your credit utilization ratio, that's 30%. Your age in credit, that's 15% of your score. And the next 2 inquiries and your credit experience, each one of those are 10% of your credit score. And your inquiries, that's simply when you apply for credit, you get literally an inquiry on your credit. But you have two kinds, what's called a soft pull and a hard pull. A soft pull does not affect your score, and I go into detail as to how that operates and how that works. And the next one, and the last, is your credit experience. This is important because it tells creditors how responsible you have been in managing different types of credit. And they usually have like a 3-2-1 formula, maybe 3 credit cards, 2 installment accounts, and if possible 1 mortgage, just to show how responsible you are in handling different types of credit. And the next thing we're going to discuss here is getting your free reports and your free scores. I think it's safe to say the landscape is definitely changing. I can remember years before, you had to pay for everything. So several years ago, I can't remember exactly when, but they started a report, a website called annualcreditreport.com, and there you can go and obtain all 3 of your credit reports from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. All 3 of those free of charge. Now you will not get your scores, but you can get your reports. But we also need the scores too to see where we stand. So the first site you need to go to is called creditkarma.com, and there you can sign up and get access to your TransUnion credit score, and that's Credit Karma with a K, ARMA.com, and that's TransUnion credit score. Then you go to Quizzle.com, QUIZZLE, and you can get your Equifax credit score, which they also have the Vantage score, which is their new and improved version of the Equifax score. And you also get your Experian score, go to CreditSesame.com. That's Credit Sesame, SESAME.com, and there you can obtain your Experian credit score. So now, following these steps, you can get all 3 of your reports and have all 3 of your scores. And you need those to see where you need to begin, where you are. And the process is fairly simple. You're going to sign up, register, use your email and password, and you won't have to provide any credit card information, but you will have to give your social security number, and they have a validation process because they want to make sure simply you are who you say you are. So they have questions concerning things that you will only probably know, and not someone who has stolen your information. Things like your maybe your mortgage payment, how much your car payment is, things of that nature. So here we go. Now you need to really ask yourself, what is your true motivation? I can tell you everything that I think that should be important to you, but it's going to be vital for you to find your anchor, because you're going to get doubts, you're going to get skeptics, you're going to get the naysayers. All of those are not to be surprised by, but you should be expected. So you're going to need something more than just the want to have good credit, just to get a better car or something. Simply because you may want a better car, but if your car you have is running, and if you don't see results within a short period of time, you may just say, well, hey, my car is running, so I'll pick this back up later on. So you need something stronger to motivate you, to be your anchor when you're having self-doubt and everything else. And usually they fall into one of several categories, or a combination of all: family, your finances, your fitness, and your faith. When your credit is in shambles, it can have an effect on your family. You're stressed out, your spouse is stressed out, you're snapping at your kids, so everyone is on edge. Then that affects your finances also. Have bad credit, if you're even able to get financing, you're paying more in interest rates, which means you're paying more, you have more of a monthly payment, which means more money is going out of the household. And when those two combined, your family stress, your finances stress, that affects your fitness or your health. And everything combined can make, break, or shake your faith. And once you go through it, it should make it stronger. So you have to find what's your true motivation. I cannot emphasize that enough. For me, it's simple. You find your mission, accept your mission, and tell yourself you will not waver, I will not falter, and if it's God's will, I will not fail.